Hello there. So today we're working on meeting situations on today's lesson. So I'm just going to go left, and what we're going to be doing is I'll be talking about what I think is the right thing to do at this point. So when we drive off, we're looking at the hazards ahead of us. So we've got a van, so I'm just taking my time, looking beyond it. It's definitely clear, checking my mirror to come out. So, meeting situations, it's a tricky one because there's got to be thousands of permutations of what's the right thing to do. But think of it like this: if you're causing the car ahead of you to give way when it's there right away, then you're probably in the wrong, because 9 times out of 10 you should be giving way to them. So I'm going to go around this car, so I'm checking ahead of me, and I'm going to go around the car and going left at the mini roundabout. So I'm checking my mirrors, signalling left, checking to my right. It's definitely clear. I'm entering, and there's a parked car, looking beyond it, checking my mirror to come out. So observations is the key. Approach speed to hazards is also quite important. So these are points you need to think about when you're driving towards hazards. It's like this situation here: priority oncoming cars. Well, there's nothing, so I'm fine. I can easily make that on. So there's different variations of meeting situations. It could be road signs, it could be parked cars, it could be all sorts of things. We got a person on the bike ahead of us there. That learner giving him quite a bit of space. Pretty good. That's what you want to do, because that bike could go around a pothole or a drain cover. I'm just holding back a little bit more because there's not a lot of space between the parked cars on the right. So it's a meeting situation. It's quite a tricky one, because if I overtake them and they go a bit wide, I'm going to get too close to them. So I'm just going to wait patiently, because not a lot I can do. I can't overtake them, and this is where you've got to hold your nerve, because the temptation is there's a car behind me kind of thing, or a rush. I'm checking ahead of myself, checking my mirror, and I'm coming out to go around them safely. So that's a meeting situation, and it can quite easily go wrong if you haven't got the experience to hold back and wait. Here's another situation. Now checking ahead of me, that red car is coming through, but it's turning, checking my mirror, keeping an eye on that bike behind me at the same time, because the bike might catch up if you're stuck in traffic. Now I've got another meeting situation where it's my priority, and at the moment nothing's forcing the way through, so I'm just going to come out. Our boss is waiting to pull out because he's indicating, he's letting everyone know behind him, and I'm going to be going right at this roundabout. So I'm checking my mirrors, signalling, slowing down for the traffic. It's quite busy, which is fine. Busy is good because you go slower. You can take your time with things when it's busy. I'm just waiting and moving forward slowly, giving way to the right. That silver car is just hovering on the roundabout a bit then, and I'm following it round. So as soon as we're out of the busy area, things feel a little bit clearer, so you can carry on building your speed up. Remember, when you're driving along, there's lots of things you can do. I know I'm focusing on meeting, but if you're not going the right speeds for the right area that's in front of you, so it's a 30 road, it's pretty clear, I'm doing 28 miles an hour, so it's appropriate speed. I'm going to be taking the second left turn. Now I do know on this road there's going to be parked cars, so there's a car close behind me. So I'm checking my mirrors nice and early, signalling and slowing down nice and early. It's like this car know I'm slowing down, and I'm dropping to a lower gear. I'm just checking what's going on, and I'm looking straight ahead of me. There's a couple of parked cars in the van, looking at the road, difficult to see, checking what's happening behind me, and I'm coming out. Now at the moment it's clear, so I'm just going to carry on going, but if it changed, there's a gap on the left there where the grey car was. I could technically pull in there if I've got enough space to get in, if the car was forcing way through. So I'm just looking at the road again. We've got some parked vehicles on the left and right, so I'm looking at the road. It looks clear, so it's nice and easy, and this is what you want. You want the traffic to kind of be out of the way. You don't want to keep having to keep stopping. But there are situations where you've got to stop, no matter how good you are at driving or learning to drive. There's a situation where you've got to stop. So I'm checking out the road, checking to go round. Another thing is, when you're going around parked cars, give them the space needed. don't go that close to them, you know, because you're going to pick up if you're on your driving test, you're going to get a fault. So I'm going to go left here, so I'm checking my mirrors, signalling left, slowing down for lower gear, checking to my right, it's clear, so I'm making a move, keeping in my lane at the same time, back to second gear, taking the next right turn. So yeah, when you're going to go past the back car, if you can give them a door's width, do it, or a metre. If you haven't got that space because it's a narrow road, that car then ahead of us then overtaking, you know, there's no need to do that. All he's got to do is let the car turn, because I'm going ahead at that point, and then turn into the road. Some people are in a rush, so we're looking down here, and there's a car braking, so I'm just being cautious. I'm all right at the moment. So when you see a car ahead of you braking, brake lights on, just kind of think, why is he braking? Is there a reason? Now I see there's a car ahead of me coming through, so I'm going to slow down. He's going to get here before me, I think, so I'm just going to wait a second. Yeah, because it's like a meeting situation where both haven't got priority, because he's got a black car on the right, and I'm moving forward at that point. Oh, decides to indicate. Now if they indicate a little bit earlier, then I would have changed my position. So they're a bit late indicating then. And this is the thing, things change all the time, and it's not being afraid to try what you think's the right thing to do, and if it works out, fantastic. If it's the wrong thing, you learn from it. But don't take risks, because if you start taking risks, what's going to happen is you're going to get involved in a meet situation where it's like you either have to slam the brakes on because the car's coming through, or worse, you're involved in an accident. So if you're unsure, then you give way, and then as you get better, you get better at judging things. So we've got a bin truck, parked car, and a parked car on the right, so it could be quite tricky. There's a car coming up the road, so I'm going to slow down, let that other car go. I can just about see him. In fact, if he's giving way, there could be no space, so I'm just going to wait here, because I can't see. So we've got this silver car and then a bin truck and a car on the right, so there could be no space. That black car started to make a move, so there must be a little bit of space, so I'm going to move forward now. Let's see what this one comes and does. So just waiting patiently. And I think the bin man's going to pull forward now, so I'm just going to move forward there, that's it. So it's just kind of holding back sometimes and being patient. And I'm just taking my time, looking at the road, looks clear. I'm going to go round the bin truck, give that space, remember that door's width. As we went past him, he opened the door on us. So it's always trying to do the right thing. I'm just following the road ahead, slowing down, dropping a gear at the same time, looking ahead, checking my mirrors. So when you've got lots of overtaking situations, there's lots of mirror checks and anticipation of what could go wrong. If you know, so go around the corner, there could be a parked car, go past the parked car, there could be another one around there, and so on. So we're just going to follow it down here, and we'll take the next left turn. So we're looking for a next left turn, wherever that is. Hopefully that'll take us down a side road. Here's one, check my mirrors, signalling. Now there's an obstacle there straight away. There's a building truck, so I'm looking beyond him, taking my time. So I'm slowing down here a little bit more as well, because I've got to be cautious because I can't see, so I won't race round there. So it's a meeting situation. Bend to the left, and I'm not going fast, I'm taking my time, looking at the road. And this is what you've got to say to yourself when you're go around blind corners, or like I did then into that junction. So I've done a left turn, so I couldn't see, and I knew it was dangerous because that yellow truck was there delivering stuff. So I slowed right down, tried to look down the path on the left, and took my time doing it. So I'm a bit of a narrow gap, so I'm slowing down for first gear, getting himself lined up and going through it slowly. Now the reason why I went through it slowly is because it's narrow, and if it was like, oh, I'm not too sure how much gap I've got, if I'm going that slow and the worst happens and I start to touch the car, I can stop straight away, and there's going to be obviously it's not great that you touch the car, but it's going to be less damage than rather you going through at 10 mile an hour and before you realise it, you got straight down the side of your car. So what could have been like a £100, a little bit of a touch-up job, ends up being a £600 job. So if it looks narrow, you slow right down first gear and get your best angles to go through. So I'm looking at left bend, parked cars on the right, so there could be a car coming towards me. So I'm covering my brake, looking at the road, it's clear, back on the gas. But I'm not going the gas hard because I can't see far. And this is the thing, if you can't see very far ahead of you, there could be anything coming. See? And this is what you've got to do, anticipate what could be there. And one of the biggest problems I see with people I'm learning to drive is that you tell them the rules and you tell them about me situation, you explain about anticipation, and some people don't slow down and say, well, expect something around that corner, expect a problem, because if you're expecting a hazard, you're more likely to be a bit cautious. So I'm dropping to a low gear, pop it in first at this point, checking my mirrors come out, give them that door's width, and then pop it back to second gear, coming back in, looking up the road on a bit of a brow hill, so I'm looking right down the right where the grey car is and the grey van. And I'm going to use a gap on the left, there's a car behind me, so I'm not going to come in fully. Look at the road, looks clear, coming back out. And same again, I'm going to come into the left a little bit to look at the road, looks clear, so I'm fine. And looking at the road, I'm going to go left at the junction. So I'm checking my mirrors, signalling left. And I'm slowing down, get that position to go left, remember. Don't want to block that car behind me, we want to go right. And then I'm off. If you're enjoying the video, feel free to like it, share it, comments about it, by all means. I'm going to carry on because I'm on a roll at the moment. I'm just driving and talking about situations we're meeting. So we've got a priority sign where we've got to give way to oncoming cars. That's got to give way. So we've got to make sure it's clear. You've got a zebra crossing. You've got to make sure there's no one crossing it, because that's going to be a meeting situation again. And that white car coming around, so I'm slowing down. I'm looking at the grey vans going the same way. So I'm just going to get myself ready. Handbrake first because I'm on a hill. Waiting, could be a car behind him. Yep, I thought it might be then. I'm looking at the road. He's going left and I'm making a move. I'm going to go left at this roundabout. Mirror signal left. The white car ahead of him is far away. He just started indicating, but he's still far away. So he's not at the roundabout, so I'm fine to go. These people on the left, slightly turning, yeah, slowing down for them. The thing about pedestrian crossings is let them get off the crossing. That's it. That's all you've got to do. Just take a few seconds, just so you know. If I moved off then and they wasn't in my lane, but they're in the right lane, still crossing over, and I started driving off, on the test you're going to get a fault for it. That's it. So we're all right. They're not there yet, and we're doing 20 mile an hour in a 20 zone. And we're looking ahead of ourselves, speed limit's going up, we're building our speed back up. And then ahead of us we've got a mini roundabout in the distance. We've got a warning sign of a double bend, left and right. We've got the warning signs of the mini roundabout, and it even says on the ground, slow. So if you see these writing on the ground, act on it, check your mirrors, start slowing down. We're going to go right. And I'm slowing down for that roundabout because I can't see on my right. Don't worry about cars coming up the hill. I can't see on the right. So I'm slowing down, going through it slowly, covering my brake, and then I'm off the brake at this point. Bit of power to carry on going. I've got a black car ahead of me. I'm looking beyond it, checking my mirror at the same time. It looks clear, silver car on the right. Give myself space around that car. Remember, if you've got the space, use it. If you're going to go past two parked cars on a road, and what you want to say is, rather than give yourself a door's width, just give yourself an equal space on both sides. Because people think, oh, door's width all the time on the left, and then they get too close to the right. So sometimes you've got to go in between the gap and give yourself equal space. And if that's the case, just go slower. I'm going to go wide again, give them that space. Remember, one day they could open the door on you, just like that bin man did before. And I'm going to bring myself back in because I'm not causing that car to slow down. This white one, I'm slowing down for him because even though it's my right of way, so you give a little wave, and then even though it's my right of way, it's in my way. or she's in my way at that point. So I'm just letting him get out of my way to make it easier. I'm going to go right at the end of here, so I'm checking and signalling, and I'm slowing down for the junction. I can't see, so I'm going to slow down for first. Still can't see. Oh, there's a car there. And then it's gas, biting point. I'm going to go left. Mirrors, signal, and then change the gear. And I'm going to bring it round, keep it in my lane. I'm not going fast, I'm doing 10 miles an hour if anyone wanted to know when. So on these left turns, they're not fast ones, I'm going to go left emerge. Slowing down, checking, checking, checking. Definitely clear, I'm definitely going. If I wasn't too sure, I'll be slowing down to give way. If it wasn't clear, I'll be giving way. So I'm looking beyond the car, there's a van coming, braking and checking. And then I'm going to pull over somewhere safe. So I'm looking at the road, lots of parked cars, looking right up the road. There's a car reverse now. He's going to be out of my way in a few seconds. So I'm taking my time. And there's a gap on the left after this van. So I'm checking my mirrors, letting everyone know, bringing myself in to slow down and stop. So if you've enjoyed this, well, it's not a short video actually. If you enjoyed the video on meeting and what I've been doing, then fantastic. I'm hoping it's helping you. And if it is, good luck with your driving lessons, and good luck if you've got your test coming up. Good luck with that.